Hello everyone. So let's resume our current affairs. So 12th July 2025. Okay, again very important. That is, there is a program called Species Recovery Program launched in the year 2011 as a part of 11th 5-year plan. Okay, now why this becomes important? Under this, there are many species. A list of 22 species have been covered. Okay, a list of 22 species have been covered, including snow leopard, Asiatic lion. So where I can access it? You can look at here. You can look at here. You can look at here. All right, so these are the species. Okay, so it was launched in 2007. I'm sorry, 2007 to 12. Okay, this was during the 11th 5-year plan schedule is from 2007 to 12. So now, nevertheless, the plan has been, the planned thing, the 5-year plan has been suspended. Okay. Uh, Now, what are the various species? We really request you to go through this particular website. All right. It is not secure though, but it is very, very accessible. Okay. So go through this and okay, it is by the government of India itself. So not to worry on that. Okay. It is hosted by Wildlife Institute of India, constituted under the Wildlife Protection Act. So, what are the various tiger reserves, etc. All right. So, here are the list of 22 species. So, you can look at and मान लो ये fixed question है. ठीक है. So, where do you find the Asiatic wildlife buffalo and how to remember this? You need to memorize. In the sense, you look at the images and try to develop an mental frame of this. Then, see here, brow antler deal or the Sangai deal. Sangai deal you will largely found, see here. Okay, so it is found in largely in Manipur. Okay, so accordingly, so dugong, what are their IUCN status, etc. And definitely questions will come from this source itself. All right, you don't have to look at any other source. Okay, especially for wildlife. Now, so coming back to our discussion, now they want to increase the list to add these two, that is sloth bear as well as gharial. Sloth bear as such, it does not have any a threatened threat as such. I mean to say, it is having a vulnerable status. Nevertheless, it is included in the Schedule 1. Okay, now then another one is the gharial. The gharial is the one which a crocodile which has a very long, elongated snout. All right, so it is having critically endangered status. Very very important. It is largely found in Chambal and the Girva rivers, and also in some parts of Nepal. So it is not present only in India. All right, now so what are the characteristics, sir? This is one of the adult males sport only adult males have a large bulb on the tip of their snout. So if this is the bulb, have a small a bulb type at the tip of the snout, which is called garia. That is why it is called gharial. Now, where do you find this sloth bear? It is not again present only in India but also surrounding, that is South Asia. All right, India, Sri Lanka, Nepal. Very, 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 very important. Then comes the Maratha military landscape. All right, so UNESCO heritage site, very, very important. Let us look at what you mean by UNESCO heritage site. These are something which are of great significance for the entire humanity. All right, entire humanity. Only those countries which have been which have signed the World Heritage Convention can submit nomination proposals. Only those which have been submitted will be considered, and they are independently evaluated by International Council on Monuments and Sites, again important, and the IUCN. See this part, these are all part of UPSC typical prelims focus areas. All right, then the final decision is taken by World Heritage Committee, which are all part of UNESCO itself, and India has been a part of this one since 2021. Now, these particular sites which should have some cultural or geographical traditions. All right, now, in this context, just look at some of the, in this context, the UNESCO heritage site associated with the Maratha, because the Maratha military landscape, they are spread across, they are basically forts. They were used for, to station the to garrison, all right, to fight the enemy. Okay, and these are located throughout, okay, on the border of Maharashtra and also in Tamil Nadu. Important, very 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 important. Sir, should I remember these sites? Okay, one or two in the mains, for the mains examination, to to deepen your content. Okay, but in the preliminary examination they will not ask you the list of ports. Okay, but definitely something like, you know who is the nodal agency in India to look after the UNESCO sites? It is Archaeological Survey of India. Does India have the highest number of World Heritage sites? The answer is no. All right. So important, and totally how many number of UNESCO sites? By the time you are going to complete your UPSC prelims, etc., you will have additional list, two or three more may be added, because still many are in the proposal stage. All right. Then coming back to the next topic, so the first ever e-truck incentives. So we might have heard about the FAME scheme. All right, faster adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicles, which used to incentivize the electric vehicle segment. All right, now an upgraded version called e-drive. So what is e-drive? Pradhana Mantri Electric Drive Revolution in Innovative Vehicle Enhancement. Okay, the current government's schemes are very generally easy to remember because they come with a proper, well-known acronym. So PME Drive. So it is started by, not by Ministry of Power, all right, Ministry of Road Transport, nahi. Okay, it is by Ministry of Heavy Industries. In this, okay, the government is encouraging, two-wheelers, three-wheelers, ambulances, trucks, and e-buses, charging infrastructure, testing. Now, again, if your vehicle, if the gross vehicle weight is above 3.5 tons to 12 tons, then the government is giving up to 9 lakh, 9 lakh, 9.6 lakh per vehicle. All right, and again for N3, another category. Okay, important. Why? Because we are the government is trying to go for greening the transportation segment. All right. Okay, so one statistics: diesel trucks constitute only 3% of the total, vehicles, but yet they contribute 42% of greenhouse gas emissions. So if we green, if we green them, then more largely we can focus upon reducing the greenhouse effect. Now, so what is the difference between e-drive and FAME? FAME is, sorry, e-drive is an upgraded version of the FAME. Sir, is it important? Very, 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 very important for the mains as well as prelims. Then comes Uttarakhand geothermal energy policy. So look at these sites. These are the energy. These are the places where you get geothermal energy. So what is geothermal energy? From the from the bottom of the earth, because of the presence of lava, the water which is undergoing convection, it will convert into steam, and the steam start oozing out. If we harness the steam, we can harness its heat. All right, we can harness its heat and convert it into a turbine. Use it to follow, pass it through a turbine, and from this turbine we can get energy. All right, now okay, so what is the potential? Sir, nearly India has 10 gigawatts, 10 gigawatts of energy is estimated, and Puga and Chumathang in Ladakh, very 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 important. Sir, are they operational? The answer is yes, they are operational. All right. So but the problem is, why are we not utilizing it? Okay, because the technology cost, the investment cost, and the research and development, and also consistent supply of energy. Okay, these are causing you know hurdles towards this. Now, are there any initiatives that have been taken? Yes. Okay, with Iceland, Saudi Arabia, India has to understand, India has started what is called RETAP, Renewable Energy Technology Action Platform. So this is bit important for the prelims as well as mains examination. Now, in the mains examination, definitely, when they ask you a question, you need to draw a good map of this. Good map of this. And should I by heart this? Yes. Again, sir, in this there are two varieties of technology. Conventional, matlab water is oozing out, you are able to harness the energy. All right, but rather by next generation thermo, geothermal technologies, they they pass a fluid, all right, below, so that you can harvest the transfer of energy. Then comes then comes a very simple report. Okay, United Nation Environment Program ka we have discussed. It was established in 1972. All right, World Environment Day is celebrated. All right, United Nation Environment Program that released a report called Frontiers or Borders. All right, the weight of time. Matlab, how come time is escalating the global problems. Okay, if we delay our efforts towards climate mitigation, then the consequences can be disastrous. So in this context, they say that, see, some of the microbes which are present in the earth's cryosphere, matlab where ice is present, these microbes, they are called psychrophiles. Okay, you can just remember this ऊपर से. Okay, important मतलब prelims में पूछ सकता है. All right, they are saying that these microbes, they can get reactivated, can alter, so which can affect the climate warming, could reactivate, remobilize dormant microbes into new environments, and they can start thriving. Okay, which can cause new type of pathogens, etc. All right, and similarly, climate change is exacerbating the environmental risks such as heat waves, air pollution, alright, floods, which disproportionately threaten the increasing population of elderly, especially. All right, and apart from that, there is persistent contaminants, okay, which can result in bioaccumulation and also biomagnification. Bioaccumulation is a process of accumulating through the high accumulation of the POPs, persistent organic pollutants, okay, throughout the higher food chain. All right, biomagnification is in the increasing concentration. All right, these terms are slightly different. Okay, slightly different, but important for the preliminary examination. All right, then comes AIA Net or AI Alliance Network. It's a network headed by USA. It consists of those countries which have voluntarily come together to develop and deploy AI technologies for sustainable long-term prosperity. Social, matlab, overall, what should be the what should be the way the AI is harnessed? How can we deploy AI towards ecological for sustainable development? All right, so as such, this particular part is not important. All right, you can just focus on this one. Then, sir, WHO pandemic agreement. In future, if any type of pandemic happens, what should be the general architecture? What should be the coordination? How can we ensure that the diagnostic vaccines, okay, the medicines or therapeutics, what we can call, can be used for overall uh, uh, you know for the for the welfare of humanity. That is WHO pandemic agreement. So उसका फर्स्ट मीटिंग हुआ था. So बस ऊपर ऊपर से याद रखिए, not really not important. All right, then comes RODIS or rhino DNA index system. So rhinos का horns को लेके, all right, now we have for tiger, for elephant, different type of indexing system, so that the the forestry department can easily understand about the population. And also because these are digital signatures, all right, each have unique type of genetic compositions which can be used to understand their population, their distribution. Okay, and also can help in mitigating the wildlife crimes. Important, yes sir. For the mains examination, how can technology be harnessed? All right, I said to both side technologies, they have come in Assam, in Madhya Pradesh. Okay, how they are using the satellite images, how they are using GIS tagging, how they are using AI. All right, A for conservation, environmental conservation. Yes, definitely, it's a value addition for the mains examination. Then comes very 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 important, trade and economic partnership agreement, TEPA. All right, it's an agreement between India and the four countries, that is Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Norway and Iceland. Okay. Now, sir, with them we have now developed a trade agreement where we are largely yet to receive approximately 100 billion of investment, which can create jobs for next 15 years. But the good part is that they do not have any type of intellectual property rights exclusively for them. It is under the larger framework of the TRIPS. Why? Because European Union is not ready to have a free trade agreement with India, largely because they want a separate intellectual property rights. All right, important for the prelims as well as the mains examination. Then comes fentanyl. Fentanyl is a it's a type of opioid. All right, anesthetic which was used for medical purposes, but it seems that is highly potent, leading to many deaths. Okay, due to overdose. So that was in news largely because of because Canada and Donald Trump has put a 35% tariff on that. Okay, that import from Canada. All right, then comes an interstate river disputes act. Very, 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 very important. Okay, it was created, it was enacted in the year 1955, 1956, soon after the state reorganization, just to ensure that the interstate river water disputes is properly brought within the framework of law. Now such disputes are barred from being heard by the Supreme Court, or for that matter any other court. All right, towards to adjudicate this type of disputes, we have what is called interstate water disputes tribunal. Now these tribunals these tribunals have been derived their largely their power from article 262. Important, yes. Now as we go further, a model act also has been enacted, because these river disputes, see, remember, interstate water disputes, it empowers the central government, okay, to create a tribunal. Accordingly, Kaveri dispute tribunal, Godavari dispute tribunal, Mahadaya dispute tribunal. Okay, so many river tribunals have been enacted, created. Now once they issue it, it is it is up to the central government to ensure that the award given by this particular tribunal is also followed properly. Then comes the Astra missile. Look at this. Astra is a air to air missile having a range of 100 kilometers, okay, and having night capabilities. All right, it has been developed indigenously. Okay, that is indigenization of technology, and India has now started testing it so that we can deploy on Sukhoi Sukhoi aircraft which we bought from Russia. Important, yes. Okay, it is developed by DRDO. Yes. Then comes the Peer Panjal. Peer Panjal, Peer Panjal, Peer Panjal. Just look at this. Okay, here comes the Peer Panjal range. So there are many passes. All right, there are many passes. Okay, some of the important rivers also pass through this. Okay, some of the important rivers, you can look at this: Kishan Ganga. All right, and you can look at the Jhelum River. Okay, important for, very, very important for UPSC prelim. So here is, see, you can definitely, they will ask you this type of confusing question. All right, Ravi. All right, Chenab Nadi. All right, then, so Chenab Nadi also passes through the Peer Panjal range. Okay, so there is a military exercise that is going on. That is why it was in news. Security forces are conducting an intensive search operation in Peer Panjal. All right, gentlemen. All right. Now comes the very, very, very important digital colonization. Matlab our, okay, the new type of colonization. Colonization earlier, it was largely exercising political control over other country. All right, but now countries are not being ruled directly by their armies, but rather by algorithms. All right, and it is told by none other than our vice president. So what is digital colonization? Where developed nations, okay, big tech companies utilize digital platforms to control and profit from less developed nations. All right, for example, take the example of Facebook, take the example of Google, Amazon, Microsoft. All right, they start making money out of our data, and countries do not have control over their data. So in that context, what are the measures that we need to undertake? All right, so in that context, see, as much as possible, impose measures, fair taxation, and then go for more and more decentralized, not centralized. Okay, so decentralized matlab India is going for ONDC. We are going having something called RuPay card. We are having our own payment systems. We have our own data protection law. Important. And for that matter, educate citizens on data privacy, and as much as possible go for indigenization. All right, so so loss of digital sovereignty. Developed nations and tech giants set global digital rules. Then social media and search engines often push the worldview of developed countries, okay, and marginalize the local cultures. Important, kindly go through it. All right. Then comes eco-sensitive zones. Sir, what are eco-sensitive zones? See, if this is a a protected area. So the region surrounding the protected area up to 10 kilometers. All right, this is called eco-sensitive zone. Sir, they are to be protected under the Environment Protection Act. See here, land falling within 10 kilometers. All right, now the government wants that these rules, okay, because once you establish a protected area, once you establish a protected area, then 10 kilometers sutta, you are not expected to go for any type of commercial mining, okay, setting up of sawmills, okay, setting up of industry which can cause pollution, major hydroelectric projects, tourism activities, etc., are barred in this particular region. All right. So but other activities, they are regulated. Other activities are regulated, but nevertheless outrightly, sir, human habitation को क्या problem है? नहीं, human habitation is allowed. All right. Ongoing agricultural and horticultural practices by local communities is allowed. Important. Rainwater harvesting is allowed. Then felling of trees and all are regulated. Okay. Establishment of the resorts, okay, and wildlife photography, etc., is allowed. But the government wants that this particular rules be relaxed, because it is not offering much ecological benefit. For example, in Himachal Pradesh, about 65% of the land is already under forest, and strict ESZ rules may hinder the development without any type of significant ecological benefit. So now where we can write this? Yes, sir, you can definitely write this in General Studies paper 3. All right, General Studies paper 3, and make a note. It is very important for the preliminary examination. Now, who can regulate this? Okay, it is authorized by the state. On the recommendation of the state government, it is central government which will notify. All right, important. Okay, important for the preliminary examination. Okay, so basically is the eco-sensitive zones act as shock absorbers for specialized ecosystems such as protected areas, or also act as transition zone. Matlab, if animals are not restricted only to here, right, so animals start going across this, or if there are two protected areas, so in between also animals can go. So in between there should not be any type of ecological damage. All right. So chalo, we have finished almost 1.5 days, so we will resume again, we'll continue the next video.